Imagine being born into a family where your cousin sleeps in your house like a sibling. Your neighbor calls you anak, and family gatherings include people you're not even related to by blood. Now imagine explaining that to a foreigner. They listen politely, then ask the question every Filipino has heard at least once. Wait, so who is actually your family? And that's when you realize something strange. Filipino families don't follow the rules the rest of the world lives by. And once you understand why, you'll see why this system confuses foreigners, shocks psychologists, and quietly shapes how Filipinos survive anything life throws at them. Stay with me, because this isn't just about family. It's about a rule Filipinos follow without ever saying it out loud. In many countries, family is defined by blood. Parents, siblings, grandparents, maybe cousins if you're close. Outside that circle, you're on your own. But in the Philippines, family isn't a boundary, it's a network. A living system that expands the moment you enter someone's life. And foreigners don't notice it at first. They think it's just friendliness. When Anna, a foreign exchange student, moved to the Philippines, she rented a small apartment near her school. On her first week, the landlady introduced her to the neighbors. "This is my niece," the woman said, pointing to Anna. Anna laughed awkwardly. She wasn't her niece, but she smiled anyway. By the second week, neighbors were asking where she was going, what time she'd be home, if she had eaten. By the third week, someone left food at her door. By the fourth week, she was being invited to family events she didn't understand, birthdays, baptisms, reunions. Anna thought, they're being nice, but why are they so involved? She didn't realize yet this was the rule. In Filipino culture, once you are accepted, you are absorbed. There is no halfway. You don't slowly earn distance. You instantly gain closeness. And this is where foreigners feel confused, and sometimes overwhelmed. Because in many cultures, independence is sacred. In the Philippines, belonging is. Let's talk about titles. In most countries, you call people by their names. In the Philippines, ate, kuya, tito, tita, lola, lolo. These aren't just words. They are relationship assignments. The moment you call someone ade, you are saying, I recognize your place in my life. The moment someone calls you anak, they are saying, you are under my care now. Foreigners think these are just polite labels. They're not. They come with responsibility. This is why Filipino families look chaotic from the outside. Why does your cousin live with you? Why is your aunt paying for your school? Why is your grandmother raising 3 grandchildren? Why does everyone know your business? To outsiders, it looks like lack of boundaries. To Filipinos, it looks like survival. Here's the truth most people don't know. The Filipino family system was built for hardship. Centuries of colonization, wars, poverty, natural disasters. When institutions failed, families expanded. When governments disappeared, relatives stepped in. When money ran out, someone else carried the load. The Filipino family rule became simple. No one gets left behind. This is why adult children live with parents, and parents live with children. This is why working abroad isn't just personal success. It's a family mission. This is why one salary feeds 10 people. Foreigners often judge this. They call it toxic dependency. But they miss something important. In many countries, independence creates loneliness. In the Philippines, interdependence creates resilience. Anna experienced this firsthand. One day, she casually mentioned she was stressed about money. The next day, someone offered her extra food. Another offered her a side job. Another told her not to worry. No forms, no contracts. No awkward discussions. Help arrived before she even asked. This confused her. In her country, asking for help felt like failure. Here, help felt automatic. And here's where foreigners really struggle. Filipino families don't just support you financially. They manage your emotions. If you're quiet, someone notices. If you're sad, someone asks. If you're struggling, someone steps in. Privacy exists, but it's softer. Your life is observed not to control you. but to protect you. This can feel suffocating to outsiders. Why do they care so much? Why do they ask so many questions? Why do they get involved? But Filipinos aren't monitoring you. They're holding the net beneath you. There's another rule foreigners rarely understand. In Filipino families, success is shared. If one person rises, everyone rises. If one person falls, everyone adjusts. That's why achievements feel communal. That's why failure is never faced alone. In many cultures, success separates people. In the Philippines, it pulls people closer. Anna realized this during a family gathering. She asked someone, "So how are you related?" The answer was long, confusing, full of side stories. She gave up and asked, "So, are you family?" The woman smiled. Of course, that was it. No explanation needed. This system isn't perfect. It creates pressure. It creates obligation. It creates guilt. But it also creates something rare. A society where loneliness is harder to sustain. Where falling doesn't mean disappearing. Where even strangers can become family if they stay long enough. That's why Filipinos abroad recreate this system instantly. In another country, Filipinos find each other, cook together, live together, support each other. They rebuild family from scratch. Not because they can't be alone, but because they were never meant to be. By the time Anna left the Philippines, she realized something unsettling. She had never felt so supported, so seen, so carried, and she also realized something painful. Going home meant losing that invisible safety net. She wasn't just leaving friends. She was leaving a system that quietly said, "You belong here." This is the Filipino family rule that confuses the world. Family is not defined by blood. It's defined by commitment, by showing up, by staying, by carrying each other when life gets heavy. Filipinos don't ask, "Are you family?" They ask, "Are you here?" And if you are, you're family now. That's why foreigners don't understand it. And that's why Filipinos survive things others can't. Because no one stands alone for long. Not here, not ever.